everyone, it is Thursday, October 7th. The time is 2:06 p.m. and the temperature outside is around 18 degrees Celsius. And I'm here in downtown Toronto, and this would be Queen Station. And there goes a northbound Line 1 train. And for this one, I'll be heading on up to street level, and I'll be walking east along most of the length of Richmond Street East. So that'll take us across the east side of downtown. But first, I think I'll backtrack a block and head west along Queen Street. And I'll walk south on Bay to Richmond. And from there, I'll start heading east. That'll give us a chance to check out the new Bay Adelaide Centre development. They're almost completed the third tower in that development.
Nobody can say anything.
And this is never a particularly good smelling staircase. And here is Queen Street West. And there's a look towards the intersection of Queen and Yonge. There's the Eaton Centre. And just on the left here is Saks Fifth Avenue in the Hudson's Bay. And that was originally a Simpsons department store. And in 1884, this was the first all-steel building ever erected in the country. And then a year later, it burnt down and was rebuilt. And there's the old City Hall. That dates back to 1889. And it looks like we're all at a sidewalk here. That's okay, I think I can slip along this stretch here. Well, if this truck doesn't get in the way.
Just a couple seconds here.
So I'll turn south here at Bay Street.
Inside of 2X looks here.
There's a look towards New City Hall. And the Toronto sign, although you can't really see it from here. And this building on the left is getting a whole new facade.
I thought it was one of those no-name ones.
So this is south on Bay and into the financial district. I was just here yesterday, recording a bike ride at rush hour. There's a better look at New City Hall. And this is Richmond Street West. And that's a look west, but I'll be turning east here. So this is the south side of Hudson's Bay. I think it was in 2006 when they, or 16 actually, when that company took over Saks Fifth Avenue and they opened up a location here. And there's the third phase of the BA Center going in. In 2009, the first building went up, and that was 51 stories. And then in, I think 2016, the second one was completed, and that one's 41 stories. And the new one is just 32 stories. DJI Pocket.
Can I see?
Well, okay.
What kind of studies are you doing with that?
I do a YouTube channel.
For what?
I do videos around Toronto. You too. That was an interesting encounter. I had no problems letting her see the camera, but she kind of reached out for it. And this is Yonge Street. There's Sunset Grill. It's an all-day breakfast restaurant chain. And once I cross Yonge Street, I'll be on Richmond Street East. And that building right there with the Rexall drugs is the old Confederation Life Building. And that goes back to 1892.
I see.
And there's the look north up Yonge. And it's out of the financial district and into the St. Lawrence neighborhood. And you'll notice Richmond is a one-way street. Well, one-way for the most part. I think well to the west of here it changes direction. I think that's west of Bathurst. And just south of here is Adelaide, which runs one way in the opposite direction, and they both have a bicycle lane. So that kind of forms a complete track. And it looks like I correctly remembered the date of that building. I remember reading that plaque before. And there is the Spire condo. That was one of the first of all the large glass condos to start popping up in this area. And these streetcar tracks are just used as an auxiliary line. There's no streetcar line on Richmond, nor is there bus service. That's worth noting. Just to the south of here is King Street. That has a streetcar that runs east-west. And a block north of here is Queen Street that also has a streetcar, so it's not entirely necessary for transit to be on Richmond or Adelaide. And that was a look up Victoria Street. So the stretch of Richmond I'm walking from Yonge to, I think, Power Street, because I can't really go past there as it turns into a bit of a highway on-ramp and it merges into Eastern Avenue. is a little under 1.5 kilometers, so it's not the longest stretch. It's a bit hard to characterize Richmond Street. Doesn't really seem to have any distinct personality. It comes across to me, at least, as being rather random. There's a mix of old buildings, new buildings. There's really no continuous retail. There is a fire station, though. There's Toronto EMS Station 40. And just north of here would be St. Mike's Hospital. So we are on the east side of downtown. Sorry, I said that building was Spire. That building there is Spire. That building fooled me. It looked so much like it when I got crossed up. That is Spire, that glass one. I should have known better, as I had a friend who lived in there. It's not that similar, I guess, but it is what it is. And this is Church Street. There's where the Golden Thai was. That was a popular Thai restaurant in this area, but it closed up during the pandemic. Often in movies and on TV, Toronto masquerades as New York, as well as a number of other places and occasionally itself, but I can't ever recall seeing film crews on Richmond. There's the Canadian Adventure Building, although I'm not seeing a plaque on it. And I remember trying to look this building up once before, 90 Richmond Street East. I wanted to find out how old it was. And I couldn't get a definitive answer. A lot of times these buildings are listed on Emporis. There's a lot of gaps in the information. And there is a neat mural on the other side of Richmond. It's not a big enough gap in traffic to go across. And here's where Richmond bends a bit. Oh, I was about to cross, and I saw a development sign here. This would be Jarvis Street, and there's a proposed 41-story tower for that lot. I'm gonna go for it. There's a look north up Jarvis. This whole east side of town has been gentrifying quite a bit over the years. And just to the south of here at Front Street is the St. Lawrence Market, where this neighborhood gets its name from. Baldwin and Franklin Architects. I remember looking that place up once. I was clicking links, looking at skyscrapers. I came to realize that they didn't design any of them on their webpage. I guess maybe they're aspiring to. There's some art on a rare downtown gas station. And coming up is the George Street Diner. A very popular spot in this part of town. And it's open from 8 a.m. to 2 on weekdays, so I'm guessing it's just in the process of closing right now. This here is George Street. And I think it's open a little longer on weekends. I think till 3 on Saturdays and Sundays. And George Street halts at Moss Park, just up ahead at the Moss Park Armory. And then it resumes north of that. Here's the building that's part of the George Brown College campus in this area. This would be their St. James campus. There's what used to be a gallery. I'm not too familiar with the businesses in this area. A sushi joint. Maybe smoking in a laneway. And coming up is Sherbourne Street. So this area just to the north of here doesn't exactly have the best reputation. From Sherbourne and Queen up past Sherbourne and Dundas. There's also a safe injection site on that block there. And you can kind of see the towers in the financial district. They are obscured a bit by the fog. It's another overcast, gloomy kind of day. I think this is the third or fourth one of these in a row. I was originally going to do just a walking live stream this morning, but I ended up publishing my video that was going to go up tomorrow morning, but my fridge stopped working. The freezer was working, but there was no cold air making it into the fridge. So I wanted to get that taken care of. And this is an old car dealership. And it looks like there's 3 towers planned for this lot. 39, 39, and 45 stories. It'll definitely be interesting to watch this area grow and evolve over time. You don't see too many lots like this downtown. And this used to be a Honda dealership. At least on the main floor. And here's a building definitely in need of a paint job. And here's Ontario Street. This one goes north up into the St. James neighborhood, although it stops at Moss Park right there. And it stops a few more times on the way and resumes on the other side. There's a not very well-liked developer in the city, or I guess realtor would be more correct. There's what looks to be an old Victorian-style home, remnants of when this would have been part of Cabbagetown. Although when I get east of Parliament Street coming up, it'll no longer be the St. Lawrence neighborhood. I'll be entering an area known as Corktown, named after the Irish settlers in the area from the county of Cork in Ireland. Very cool. So here is Berkeley Street. There's a lot of work going on the south side there. It looks like there'll be a Staples moving in here. They used to be located just off of King East and between King and Front, just to the south of here. But it looks like they're moving into a new spot. So just up ahead here, I can't continue on Richmond as a pedestrian, or as anything, as it's one way in the other direction. It's a wacky, wailing, inflatable man. I'm sure I got that wrong. It's got to work because you see them all over the place. So this will come to an end, or at least the walkable part will come to an end when I get to the next block. That's Power Street. I just got the idea to walk the entire length of Power Street. So we're going to go north right here and then... Oh. Okay. Thank you. No, no problem. Friendly driver who's wondering what that lady is doing. So here's Queen and Parliament. I'm not sure this is the smartest way to collect change. So this is Queen Street East. Where this Shoppers Drug Mart is, there's another redevelopment notice. 2 buildings, 16 and 29 stories. And it's the Hard Knocks Boxing Club, although I don't think that's operating anymore.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see a drama student and I will,
Here's Power Street. There's St. Paul's Basilica Parish. I think that's the oldest church of its kind in the city. It goes back to the early 1800s. It says, gathered in faith since 1822. Although the oldest church itself is just to the south of here. So Power Street, I think, is 3 blocks, and we'll be crossing Richmond and then Adelaide. I'm gonna wander south down to King Street East and hop on the streetcar. Oh, there's another redevelopment notice across the street here. And unfortunately, there's no marked crossings for pedestrians here. It's kind of a cross at your own peril situation. There's a guy going for it. So this is as far as I can walk, at least legally, on Richmond Street East. And it merges with Eastern Avenue just to the east of here. There's an off-leash dog zone. Fortunately, it's the middle of the afternoon and traffic's not so bad. Well, that looks like maybe it was someone's walker. And here's Adelaide Street, so I need to wait for a break in traffic. There's a mini encampment. You always tend to see a lot of bicycles and bicycle parts in those encampments. I wonder why. So here is King Street East. So I will hop on the streetcar and take that back over to King Station. Well, I said back, I wasn't there to begin with, but you get the idea. And there is the oldest church in the city. I think its official name is the Trinity Church. So this is west on King Street East. And there's where Staples is now, but they're moving in October, later this month, to that other location we passed. And a King Streetcar, I think, it's not really going east of here. I think there's replacement buses from Parliament Street. And that's due to work being done on Broadview. By the time you see this channel may have reached 60,000 subscribers. So thank you very much to everyone who has subscribed. I certainly didn't think I would ever get to that number. I think I'm at 59.8 right now. So it's possible it'll be at 60 by the time you're seeing this. And this is King Street East. I think I already mentioned that. Sometimes I just go on autopilot. And there's some buses waiting to begin their journey to the east along King. Then they'll cross over into Riverside at Queen Street and head north up Broadview to the station. And confusingly, there's a 501 Queen Streetcar, as those have been diverted south down to King due to some track work. So it's just a big confusing mess of transit right now in the city in this part. There's where the Globe and Mail is located. And that same complex used to be the Toronto Sun, but they moved north up to the National Post location on Bloor Street East. I don't want to try to pronounce that name. Wasn't really thinking about just walking along King Street East all the way back. We'll see how the timing works in terms of catching the next streetcar. And here on the right is Betty's, one of my favorite bars in the city. I recently went to Betty's East, located in Leslieville. That's a new location that just opened up. I think that original location there will have to relocate at some point pretty soon, as there's a redevelopment notice for that spot. Okay, here is Sherbourne Street. Oh, and here's a streetcar, perfect. I'm gonna jump on the streetcar. Got my mask on.
540 K to Dufferin Ring.
Next stop, Jarvis Street.
This window is kind of dirty, but hopefully it's clear enough.
Please look right for traffic when exiting. Next stop, Church Street.
And it's just a few more blocks from here. I
Please look right for traffic when exiting. Next stop, Yonge Street, King Subway Station. Please look right for traffic when exiting.
And this is King Street West now, as we are to the west of Yonge. I'm going to head down into King Station. And hop onto a northbound train.
This weekend, there will be no subway service on the portion of Line 2 between Kipling and Islington stations due to structure and signal maintenance. Shuttle buses will run. Check ttc.ca for more information.
And the next train will be in 2 minutes. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed this walk along Richmond Street East, over to Power Street, down to King Street East, and then taking the streetcar over here to King Station. There are links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership in the description if you wish to support the channel. And I also have an Instagram account. I'll just wait till the train boards and then I'll get on, but in the meantime, thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you on the next one.
Please stand clear of the doors. Next station is Queen Station.